Welcome to the Political Bridge. I'm Ada, your host. Today, we're diving into a complex topic. It's about how our government gathers intelligence. Specifically, we'll talk about Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, or FISA. This law lets the U.S. government collect digital communications. These communications are from non-Americans outside the U.S. They are collected for foreign intelligence purposes. But sometimes these collections can also sweep up communications of Americans. This happens when Americans talk to foreign targets. This raises big questions. It's about national security versus civil liberties. We need to protect our country. We also need to protect our rights. This is a tough balance to strike. Congress recently renewed Section 702. They did so after much debate. So what does this mean for us? Let's explore the arguments. Nico, let's start with you.
Section 702 is vital for our national security. It's not a program to spy on Americans. It targets foreign terrorists and spies. These threats are very real. They want to harm our country. This tool helps us stop attacks before they happen. For example, it helped disrupt a plot by Al-Qaeda in 2009. They planned to bomb New York City subways. It also helped stop a 2016 plot by ISIS to attack a military base. The intelligence community says it's indispensable. Without it, we'd be blind to many threats. There are safeguards in place. These protect American citizens' data. Warrants are needed for intentional searches of American data. We can't let concerns about rare abuses weaken a critical defense. President Trump's administration has used this tool effectively. We need to keep our nation safe first. This law does just that. It targets bad actors abroad.
While national security is important, our civil liberties are too. Section 702 has been abused. It allows for what's called a backdoor search. This means the FBI can search databases for Americans' communications. They don't need a warrant. They just use the foreign intelligence data they already collected. This has happened thousands of times. The FISA court itself has found problems. They've found cases where the FBI didn't follow the rules. For instance, in one case, the FBI searched for a U.S. congressman. They did this without a warrant. This is a clear violation of the Fourth Amendment. That amendment protects us from unreasonable searches. We can't just trust the government to do the right thing. We need stronger protections. We need a warrant requirement for searching American data. This protects everyone's privacy. It ensures our rights are not ignored.
Both of you raise important points. Nico, you emphasize the necessity of Section 702 for preventing attacks. Jordan, you highlight the risks to American civil liberties. My first follow-up question is for both of you. How do we balance these two critical needs? Is there a middle ground? Can we protect our nation from foreign threats without sacrificing the privacy rights of American citizens? What specific changes, if any, would you propose to strike that balance more effectively? Or do you believe the current system, post-renewal, already achieves the right balance? Nico, let's hear your thoughts first.
The current system is a practical balance. It's not perfect, but it works. The reforms passed by Congress improved things. They added more oversight. They made it harder for the FBI to conduct improper searches. For example, they now require higher-level approval for certain U.S. person queries. They also added new penalties for misuse. We can't demand a perfect solution that risks our safety. Terrorists and foreign spies don't play by our rules. They exploit every weakness. Adding a warrant requirement for U.S. person searches would cripple the program. It would create a huge delay. This delay could cost lives. It would give our enemies time to act. We must trust our intelligence agencies. They operate under strict rules. They have oversight from all three branches of government. The recent renewal shows Congress agrees this tool is too important to weaken.
Nico, trusting our intelligence agencies blindly isn't enough. History shows us that. The abuses weren't just rare. The FISA court itself found widespread problems. These problems included improper searches of Americans. The new reforms are a step, but they don't go far enough. They don't fix the core issue. The core issue is the lack of a warrant. If the government wants to search an American's communications, they should get a warrant. That's what the Fourth Amendment says. It's a fundamental protection. It's not about crippling the program. It's about making it constitutional. Other countries manage to protect their citizens' privacy. They also protect national security. We can do both. We need to prioritize our rights. A warrant requirement would build public trust. It would ensure accountability. It's a small price to pay for freedom.
This brings us to our stress test. Nico, you argue that Section 702 is indispensable and that new safeguards are sufficient. However, your argument relies on the idea that the abuses were isolated or have been adequately addressed. The FISA court itself has documented instances of FBI analysts conducting improper searches. They even searched for a U.S. congressman. How can you confidently state that the existing safeguards, even with recent changes, truly prevent such significant overreaches without a warrant requirement? Jordan, your argument for a warrant requirement is strong, but it doesn't fully address the speed and agility needed in fast-moving intelligence operations. How would a warrant requirement, which can be a slow process, impact the ability to prevent an imminent terrorist attack? How do you ensure national security isn't compromised?
Ada, the abuses were serious, but they were also a small fraction of the total searches. They were also often due to misunderstandings of complex rules. They were not intentional malice. The new safeguards directly address these issues. They require more training. They demand higher approvals for U.S. person searches. They also increase accountability. The FISA court's findings led to these very changes. We learn from mistakes and improve. A warrant requirement would create a bureaucratic nightmare. It would slow down intelligence gathering to a crawl. In a crisis, minutes matter. We can't wait days for a judge to approve a search. The program is designed to be fast. It needs to respond to immediate threats. We have strong oversight, we have internal audits, we have congressional review. These are effective controls. They protect rights without sacrificing speed.
Ada, you're right. Speed is important. But our Constitution cannot be set aside for convenience. There are already ways to get warrants quickly in emergencies. These are called exigent circumstances. A judge can issue a warrant very fast. This happens when there's an immediate threat. So a warrant requirement doesn't mean slow. It means proper. It means legal. The issue isn't just about misunderstandings by analysts. It's about a system that allows warrantless searches of Americans. This system invites abuse. The FBI's own reports show they searched for specific individuals. They did this without proper cause. This included a U.S. senator and a state judge. These are not minor mistakes. These are serious violations. We need to protect our rights. We can't just hope the government will do the right thing. We need legal checks on their power.
The stress test really highlights the core tension here. Nico, you emphasize the need for speed and the effectiveness of internal safeguards. Jordan, you point to the documented abuses and the constitutional imperative for warrants. It seems we're grappling with whether the system can be trusted to self-correct and operate within bounds, or if it fundamentally requires external judicial checks to protect individual liberties. This is the heart of the debate. Let's move to our closing arguments now. Nico, what's your strongest final case for your position, considering what we've discussed?
My strongest case is simple. Section 702 saves lives. It's a proven tool against foreign terrorists and spies. The intelligence community, across administrations, says it's essential. Former President Biden's administration supported its renewal. President Trump's administration relies on it. The recent reforms are significant. They address past concerns. They add layers of review and accountability. We cannot let a desire for theoretical perfection undermine practical security. The threats we face are real. They are constant. Weakening this program puts every American at risk. We must empower our intelligence agencies. We must give them the tools they need. They operate under strict rules. They are overseen by Congress and the courts. This program is a cornerstone of our national defense. It protects us from those who wish us harm. It does so while respecting our laws.
My strongest case is also simple. Our Constitution matters. The Fourth Amendment protects us from unreasonable searches. A program that allows warrantless searches of Americans' communications is a threat to that right. The abuses are not minor. They are not rare. They show a pattern of overreach. The new reforms they don't fix the fundamental flaw. That flaw is the lack of a warrant requirement. We can have national security and civil liberties. We don't have to choose one over the other. We can demand that our government follows the law. We can demand they get a warrant when searching American data. This isn't about crippling intelligence. It's about upholding our values. It's about protecting every American's privacy. It's about ensuring accountability. We must not sacrifice our rights for a false sense of security.
We've had a robust discussion today on Section 702 of FISA. Nico, you've made a compelling case for its necessity in national security. Jordan, you've passionately defended civil liberties and the need for stronger protections. It's clear this issue involves deeply held principles on both sides. The balance between security and freedom is one we constantly revisit as a society. Thank you both for sharing your insights and for helping us understand this complex topic better. You can find more information and resources at tpbridgepod.com. Join us next time for another engaging discussion. Until then, stay informed, stay engaged, and keep bridging those political divides.